How
All
y'all
right.
feeling? How y'all doing?
Good, good. How are
Hey.
you?
Yeah, you already know, man. Shit, bro. We blessed, bro. Got my little first main event. We locked in, no. It's
Yeah,
over
so
with.
I guess we'll just start. We're here, Angela Hill and Jessica Penney here with Joaquin Buckley fighting
Yeah.
in his first main event next week. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, tell us how you're feeling.
So we feeling good yet again. I got my first main event. I got my first show that I feel like I can really go out there, man, and give it my all. I feel like with this fight right here, this being my 15th fight, I done really kind of submitted my name, in order to get this main event. So it's really time to show the crowd and show the fans exactly what they, finna tune in and see. So getting this main event, I feel like it's really fueling me up right now to give them a show that they never forget.
For sure. I mean, it
Yeah.
it doesn't take much to fuel you up. You've been on a tear recently, fighting in your hometown, getting knockouts, being on a big streak.
Right,
So, how did it feel when the switch up happened with you and the Ian Garry matchup, and
right,
now
right,
you're fighting Colby Covington, but it's the main event. So, how
right.
did all those emotions happen, go down with you when you found
Well,
out?
I wouldn't say I was not much as a emotion, but I feel like when I seen it online, like the switch up was about to happen because of Bilal, situation with his foot. You hear me? Him getting that infection. They need to find somebody to replace Bilal in order for Shavkat, to be able to fight. I saw a lot of rumors happen on Instagram and shit like that on the feed, talking about, Ian Garry just might switch over. Ian Garry making a post like, he down to fight and whatnot. I'm like, hold up, dog. We didn't sign a contract with one another. Like, slow down, dog. Slow your roll. But once the UFC hit me up and told me they had another opportunity for me, I was all good. You know what I mean? I feel like for real, it's a better opportunity to fight Colby Covington because yet again, he done fought for the belt a couple times. He was a interim champion at one point in his career, and like he got a bigger name and a better ranking. So getting a win, it puts me in a good position. So we ain't stressing about nothing.
Do you feel like you're still, I guess, in the running up? Like this is a contender fight, or do you think you might have to get one more win
I
before?
don't know. Y'all saw that fight that happened last night. You
I
heard?
know.
So
I was
even
going to
though the
ask you
two
both.
undefeated guys they went to war, or now when they went to war, they fought. I feel like they didn't give a good performance, right? And they didn't put on the type of performance that would lead to give them a title. Now I believe that the UFC is going to keep their word and and allow Shavkat to fight for the title. But I just really believe like if anything goes wrong, where somebody doesn't show up, I feel like I can replace that and definitely be put myself in a position where I can fight for a belt in my next fight. Yeah.
So, was there anything surprising about that fight last night for you? I mean, you having your eyes closely focused
Yeah.
on both of those opponents.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
it surprise you?
I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was a couple things. I feel like I already knew it was gonna be boring. I feel like, especially with the anticipate. No, for real, I just thought, it was a lot on the line for both of these guys. And I felt like, with the ability of Shavkat and him being such a finisher, he needs somebody to come and stick with him to try to fight. But I find it funny how Shavkat actually tried to use more of his grappling than his striking. And as he tried to take Ian Garry to the ground, he had a lot of trouble. He struggled with it for a bit. And with Ian Garry, I was expecting him to kind of use his pedal and kind of slide out, but he kind of stood in front of, Shavkat. But Shavkat actually didn't, go for the kill. And I feel like with that being said, it led to that boring performance. But I was actually surprised more by Ian Garry than I was Shavkat. Yeah. Shavkat, not Shavkat. Ian Garry just stood right in front of him,
Hmm.
tried to use the long guard a bit, but did not use no footwork in that fight whatsoever.
Why do you think that happened? Do you have like a theory on
I
the
know why.
switch up, a
I feel
game
like I know
plan?
why. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And no disrespect to Shooto Boxing, but I feel like whatever camp that Ian Garry came from, and now he switched over, he kind of changed his style. And you seen it with MVP, right? Saw he was grappling more, going for takedowns and putting himself in a situation where he was trying to be more of a grappler. And I felt like it was the same situation or the same scenario. And you seen that he took a couple good positions where he took Shavkat back, almost got the rear naked choke, took Shavkat down a couple times. But at the end of the day, like he's getting away from what he's known, and that's being that counter fighter, moving off the pedal as you chasing him. He comes down the pipe, and really throws those punches. But I feel like he might be getting away from his actual natural ability. Uh,
What was your approach gonna be? Can you drop that on us now that you don't have
I
to
mean,
fight
I
him?
mean, even though he lost, I know that fight is still gonna be out there. But I feel like in this particular moment, if Ian Garry would have fought me the same way that he fought last night, I would have knocked him out that night. Period.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
So you talk about, this was a boring fight that we just saw, and you
I
have.
mean, what y'all thought? Hold on, now y'all asked me all the questions. What y'all thought it was?
Well, you're
Yeah,
on our show. We get to ask you all the questions. Invite us on your show, and you can ask us some stuff.
I got you.
Hey, there you
Let's get it.
go.
Brick Brothers podcast. Hop on it. Yeah, next time. Let's get it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that it was a boring fight. I thought it was a strategic fight. It was a closer fight than I thought it was going to be, but I did think Shavkat was going to get the win. So you being an exciting fighter and somebody who is also exciting outside of the cage, like how do you think that is the reason that you've kind of skyrocketed to this main event? Because some people don't get that opportunity, and there's a lot of
Right.
people in different divisions that have that complaint that they don't get that opportunity.
Right, right. And be honest with you, I feel like I still haven't done much, right? But the little things that I have done to promote myself have gotten me very far. So I feel like yet again, like it's still levels to this that I feel like I haven't even touched to. But with those other people saying, they haven't gotten a shot, like you got to make your opportunities. That's literally why I got this, take the throne, and I got to take the throne mentality. Like no opportunity is given to me. We make the opportunities, and then we go out there and take it again. So with that being said, it's just like this main event just didn't come up out of nowhere, and they was like, oh yeah, let's just give Buck this. Like, no, like I made this happen for myself. And when you go out there and you go for great things and you try to achieve great things happen to you.
Nice.
I love that. I love that.
Do you know anything about Covington's camp? Like, has he been training for something else and then this popped up? Is he jumping in last minute? Like, do you know
Man, that's a
have
good
any
question. That's
intel?
that's that's a question for Kobe. To be honest with you, I see him all on the Twitch. He
Mm-hmm.
all outside with the influencers, catching pedophiles and all this other shit. You know what I mean? He's trying to be the
Oh,
new Chris
okay.
Hansen, right? So, I don't know. Whatever he's doing, and however he's preparing for his fight, he's feeling like he's doing whatever he needs to do in order to step in that cage. So, whatever makes him comfortable taking this fight with me and stepping into that cage December 14th, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
So how do
What?
you prepare for what doesn't happen inside the cage? Like fight week, there's going to be a pre-fight presser. Like how do
Yeah.
you prepare yourself for that aspect of the fight?
I mean, I feel like, regardless of how Kobe is, right, and his personality, and then when he talk trash, like y'all know how it is. Like when we grew up in school and stuff like that, people be digging on the bus, especially you, Angela. You know what I mean? Like we be on the bus, man. We be going back and forth, like joning and crack. I feel like it's all noise to me. It's like when you prepare for these type of things, it's just like if we gonna talk, let's talk. But I like to talk the truth. You know what I mean? And I like to be real. So my thing is, if he wants to talk any nonsense, I got some good heat for him. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that press conference, so we got some stuff lined up for him.
Yeah. I get so mad that no one wants to talk shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Because I
I'm
mean, because
like,
you gotta, because at the end of the day, you gotta live up to it, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the hard
exactly.
part. Yep, and that's the
Also, you
hard
don't want to lose the shit talk battle before the fight too, because that
part.
can mess
Right,
up.
right, 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 right. But
That
that's the
can mess
cool
up
thing.
your
Even if you do
performance.
lose, I get to whoop your ass. So
Yeah, true, true.
yeah, yeah,
I like how you were talking about uh Gary switching camps, and I was wondering where are you training right now? Where'd you train
yeah.
for this fight? I know you
Okay.
bounced around a little bit, but I'm wondering where your core was for this camp.
The core was right here in St. Louis, with St. Charles MMA. So I trained with them since I was back home. We trying to get something opened up, right after this fight,
Mm.
and I'm trying to have my own facility pretty soon. I think it's around that time that I need my own spot. But right now we've been messing with Mike Rogers, Jeff Henry. I've been working with my guys, Valkyrie Fitness, Travis Brown. Been working with my man Reggie, who's my boxing coach at SEL Boxing Academy, and also my guy that I do my podcast with, Brick Brothers podcast with Solid Foundation. So we plan on opening up something real soon. But St. Charles MMA, that's where we was at. Yeah,
Nice. How'd you
yeah.
come to that decision to open up your own gym?
I mean, because I feel like for me, I make a lot of my own decisions. I feel like I need a facility where I can go train at any given time and bring in the people that's necessary. I feel like I managed my career very well on my own, and I kind of build a team. I don't join the team, I build a team, and
Yeah.
I put the right people around me, what I'm saying, that's specified in certain specialties, whether that's, nutrition, whether that's wrestling, whether that's boxing, whether that's jiu-jitsu, overall MMA. It doesn't matter. I try to find the best guys, and especially when it comes to sparring, bringing in the right guys as well. If I got to fly them out, at least I can take care of them, you know what I mean? And then I have my own gym that, really they get comfortable, and we really get that work in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like because you said you haven't done that much yet, but I feel like you've done a lot. You're on every highlight reel when the UFC fights start. You see the big kick and everything. Like you've made your mark in the sport and in your weight class. Do
Yeah.
you feel like the fans see that as well, or do you still think you have a lot to prove?
No, when it comes to fighting, they know what they getting, right? Like I said, this will be my 15th fight, within 4 years in the UFC. And I really feel like, the type of time and the resume that I've been able to grow, like the fans know exactly what to expect when they watch my fights. I feel like I need to grow outside of the cage. I think that's the most important thing. And yet again, that's the small little part that I'm talking about. I feel like I can grow so much bigger outside of the UFC instead of just keeping myself or keeping my personality just confined in the cage. It's time to show my personality outside this thing and really blow up.
And what does that look like to you? Like, what are your
So
dreams and aspirations outside?
dream. I mean, I don't know about, I'm living my dream right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm really doing my thing, but it's just like doing little things like, doing the meet and greets, right? I had a little situation happen with, at David Buster's, whatever, where
Yeah, what happened?
right. I mean, it's just unfortunately, lady just, made a mistake, and they wasn't able to offer or give us what we needed at that time. So we just had to pack up and leave. So, but not trying to get it all up into that situation, but I want to be able to engage with the fans before my fights. I want to do something that a lot of fighters aren't comfortable with doing at the time because they got a big moment coming up, and I feel like for me, whatever's the best way to promote and feel good energy from the fans. Because like, when you pay for a ticket and you see somebody, like you would want to be able to be just surrounded by them, and I give the fans the opportunity to do that, because yet again, they paying their hard-earned money. I just want to be able to show them my appreciation for even popping out and really showing love how they should. So I think that's my one way of giving back, to the fans. But I feel like that's something that can really grow my brand even stronger, because no other fighter is doing that.
Nice. Speaking
Hmm.
of growing outside of the cage, I saw you had a little one-on-one with DC before your last fight. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you guys like squashed the beef, or is there still a little bit brewing?
Like I said, well, for me, ain't no beef for real, right? Like it's not real beef, but I find it funny that, like, a lot of people that clown with them and joke with them, you know what I mean? That's what it is. But then with me, like, it is a real situation. But for me, on my end, there ain't no beef. Like I said, I always want to work with the double champ. I always want to, spar around. But my man, shit, he a super heavyweight now, you know what I'm saying? So I might have to be careful, nigga. I ain't trying to throw my back out. But ain't no beef there, you know what I'm saying? I got nothing but respect for DC at the end of the day. You already know.
I don't know. He might be worried after seeing you wrestling in the Wonder Boy fight. You were on point.
I appreciate you. And that's what people don't realize. Like, I'm a mixed martial artist. My start into martial arts was wrestling. Like that
Okay.
was my first discipline. And I feel like for myself, it's just there's a lot of things and a lot of tools that I still haven't shown that I feel like are really gonna surprise a lot of people. And especially in this fight with Colby Covington, a lot of people feel like his only chance is to wrestle me, but to be honest with you, he gonna have a hard time doing that. Especially with the guys that I've trained with down in Michigan, with Nick Simmons, with Andy Simmons, and them really showing me some good work down there, and really showing me good basic techniques that they cleaned up for me. I feel like Kobe gonna have a hard time dealing with me. Definitely in the wrestling.
You
Shit, you
mentioned,
might meet. Hey, y'all might see me take him down on God.
I
hey, I
mean,
believe it.
Yeah,
Listen, but
yeah.
you did the problems you gave to Wonder Boy, the problems that you gave to Luque, like you're just doing something really special that other people have a really hard time with. So it's
Hmm.
very impressive. And that's why, people get behind you. That's why people tune in to see you.
Exactly. All I'm in there doing is trying to fight, bro. That's it. I'm in there trying to bang, and a lot of guys they don't come with that type of energy sometimes,
mhm.
and obviously it's a sport, it's a competition. You got to try to win, but you got to be entertaining too at the same time. So that's exactly what we plan on doing: being entertainer and winning at the same time.
So you mentioned that you started with wrestling. I didn't know that. How exactly did you like find your way? What was your path into MMA?
The movies. I always wanted to be a martial arts actor. I swear to
Aw.
God, I always want to be Michael John White. You know what I'm saying? Jackie Chan, all that.
Yeah.
But I always been intrigued by the martial arts. So I'm a big student. I'm a big fan of all different disciplines, from taekwondo, from karate, from judo. Obviously, you got box a lot out there. You got land fighting in Senegal. It's just like I've always been such a incredible, what I mean, just a fan of all different traditional arts. And I feel like for me being in mixed martial arts, you can take from all different disciplines and kind of make your own kind of fingerprint, right? Because I feel like unfortunately there's a lot of people that's in MMA and they all fight the same. This is the only realm where we can do whatever we want to, right? You can always use your creativity to kind of, shine through in the cage. Because there's so much shit that we still have not seen in the octagon that can still be displayed. And I really feel like my love for martial arts from the very beginning has led me to be the fighter that I am today.
What exactly would be like your dream technique or dream scenario in a fight that you don't see anybody else doing except for you?
Shit, I think I already did that shit. Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard to follow up for
Because
sure.
Number two.
right, exactly. Number two, I can't say it because I might want to try to use it. So I got a special little move that I always try in training that I feel like in this fight I can definitely pull off. So you know,
Ooh.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta tell us after we finish.
I got you. I'll tell
Yeah.
you. I got you.
Send us a tutorial.
Hmm.
Where do you think like when it comes to like final form Buckley, what do you think that style looks like?
There's no final form, and that's the one thing I will have to give myself. I'm always trying to learn. There's always room to grow. There's always room to improve. There is no perfect fighter. Like any type of thing that I feel like I might have holes in, I try to fill them in before somebody else does it for me in the cage, right? So I always look to try to put myself in an uncomfortable position where I'm always learning and feeling like, okay, I don't like this position, but I'm gonna get comfortable here, right? And I'm gonna make sure I can learn how to get out of it, or I can learn how to put myself in a position where I can not just work out of it, but find a submission from it, right? Or
Mm.
find different places where I can punch and kick, and find different avenues where I can move and still be a dynamic fighter. It's just like I always want to put myself in stressful situations because this is a stressful sport. So you got to get used to being able to think on the fly, but if you've never been in that situation or you never trained that before, sometimes it doesn't click. So I try to put myself in so many different scenarios, so many different positions that I can try to learn from.
Nice. Do you think you'll ever go back to middleweight, or you think that's like you're comfortable in your weight class
No,
now?
no. If I get an easy lick, somebody with the belt, yeah, I'm moving up. I'm gonna pull a George St. Pierre real quick.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like for me, yet again, I gotta do my job at 170, clear out that division, and then if I get an opportunity to move up to 185, yet again for something nice, I'm gonna move up to 185. Shit, 205 even.
What? You
Nice.
good?
Yeah, no, no, seriously.
I
Yeah.
was just curious because if you watch Aljo's fight, it was one of those where you can still see that the skill levels were similar.
Hmm.
If anything, maybe he had better skill in the fight, but he looked undersized. And I was wondering if that like was ever an issue for you at 85. I mean,
That was definitely
uh
an issue for me at
yeah,
185. That was definitely an
yeah.
issue for me at 185. But I feel like I do it right next
Mm,
time. I wasn't the appropriate size for 185 when I first started. I was 190. I was only walking around 190 at the time. And then cutting just 5 pounds and then walking into the cage, you know what I mean, getting back up to 190 again, just a 5 pounds, But a lot of these other guys, when they cut to 185, they going back up to 200 or 215, so they
yeah.
really do have a great size advantage. So I feel like I just didn't do it right. So now that I'm at 170, I know that my body's still gonna naturally grow, and as I get older, it's gonna be kind of harder to cut that weight too in the future. So I know that now that I'm walking around 200, I'm gonna be more fit as a middleweight, and then yet again, still trying to build muscle and build size. I'll be a good light heavyweight too in the future.
Thanks. So okay, so
Yep.
you're a little bigger now then.
Oh yeah, a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a
Yeah.
little man weight on you. That's good.
Hmm.
Good to know for the 205 part at least.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Anything
Well,
else? We good?
yeah, I think we're good, man. Like, if you had anything to, because you're a great salesman, you've been selling
Hmm.
the hell out of the Ian Garry fight. I'm mad
Nah.
that that fight didn't
Yeah.
go down because of all the promos.
Yeah. All that
And
promo
doing.
just go to waste, dude. But it's all right.
Nah, it was
You know.
good, but
You know. We ain't got Buck versus Cuck. But now we got something new on the menu. We got Buck versus Duck, So I really feel like this is the
ah,
next fight, that's really gonna put my name out there, and it's really gonna show everybody, why I should get that belt. And we definitely take some to the throne, baby. 2025. Let's get it.
all right. Well, you answered my
Hmm.
question. Thank you, man.
Of
Thanks so
course, of
much for
course.
your time.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for getting me
No,
on the show. And I got y'all. Y'all gotta
Yeah.
show that same love back to us, all right?
No, for
Get on our
sure.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. Brick Brothers
Yeah, bring
podcast
us
for sure.
on. I can't
Yeah.
wait. I didn't know you had a podcast, so I'm excited about
Yeah.
watching it.
So if you guys want to check out the podcast, definitely go check it out on YouTube on Brick Brothers Podcast. And if you can't find it there, go to Joaquin Buckley official page, and y'all find it there too. All right.
All right. Thanks so much, man. Get that
Yeah.
knockout. We're rooting for you. Can't wait to see it.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Let's get it. You already know. Good money.